What's up everyone, welcome to another camera comparison video. Today I have this iPhone 12 and Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus. Yeah, really I hate doing this, that I have to show that I have the smartphones, cause I always do honest camera comparison videos. But I know there are a lot of fake camera comparison videos, and I request you, whenever you find a fake camera comparison video, please report it and please support true honest content. Okay, I don't want to talk a lot, but before we start, if you end up liking this video, then please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel. Also, please share this video with your friends and family, and that really helps a lot. What's up everyone, welcome to another camera comparison video. Today I have this iPhone 12 and Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus, and we are going to be doing a detailed camera comparison. Outside it's minus 12 degrees Celsius, so usually I don't want to go outside. I'm trying to record most of the videos inside, but yeah, there are photos I have taken outside and I have tried to be very thorough. I mean, this camera comparison is going to be a very detailed camera comparison. Okay, first let me know which camera do I look better, which smartphone makes me handsome or prettier, in which smartphone microphone is working better. Please check carefully, listen carefully, watch through this video, and yeah, please support honest content. I always do honest camera comparison videos, so if you like camera comparison videos, then please subscribe to this channel, and if you end up liking this video, then don't forget to click on the like button and share this video with your friends and family. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. At the beginning, let me tell you the testing process. All of these pictures were taken on auto mode with AI enabled and auto HDR. Of course, both of these have pro modes, so if you have the time to dial in and switch between options to get a pro shot of your choice, then you can. But most of the general users uses the auto mode, and I feel like this represents true pros and cons of the smartphones. I wanted to see which one of these smartphones got a better camera, because I have compared these smartphones with some other smartphones, and iPhone 12 after a few updates got its camera processing a bit improved and does offer something nicer than before, which is really great. Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus on the other hand comes with a new but mid-range main sensor. Yes, Sony IMX766 is the newest but not the best in line, cause Sony will provide the best when they release IMX786 for all new flagships. Processing is the biggest difference between these two smartphones, no matter indoor low light environment or outdoor bright light environment. Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus always processed photos with brightness and more shadow details. Yes, there is a slight overexposure, and I cannot disagree that it makes the photos a bit more lucrative and social media ready. I mean, the photos are ready to be shared on social media straight out of the camera. But if you are someone like me, if you want more textures and structural sharpness along with true tone, then you'd like the photos processed by iPhone 12. If you look closely and check the details and textures, you will notice a clear distinctive difference. It is less defined on Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus and more visible in iPhone 12 photos. iPhone processing always have this more details thing in algorithm, but nowadays presence of details is really way more than before. After all the updates, I have also noticed that iPhone now saturates the color a bit, especially if you check the deep colors, then you can find the difference between these two, and unfortunately none of these two processed accurate colors. None of these two smartphones reproduced the colors what I was seeing. One took a left turn and another took right turn. But this is really going down to personal preference, because in certain conditions, people sometimes does prefer a bit saturated bold images, when some other people in different conditions would go for less saturated or a bit pale color rendition. I wanted to share these photos separately. In low light photos, two things are very important to me. First, noise removing algorithm, which worked perfectly on both iPhone 12 and Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus. Actually, with long exposure and better aperture, iPhone 12 reproduced good, bright, eye-catching photos without noise and grains. On the other hand, Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus pictures looks a bit blurry, and it is mainly due to its aperture and shutter speed. Another important thing is identifying well-lit areas, which iPhone 12 did better than Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus with its good exposure and contrast ratio. Overall, I think I like iPhone 12 low light photos over Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus. I know a lot of you may not agree with this, and yes, I totally respect your preference. The first thing you'd notice in ultra-wide photos is field of view. FOV is a bit wider on iPhone 12, and then you'd notice that no matter whether outdoor or indoor, Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus kept the trend of warm tones, saturated the color, rendered sky color with artificial tone, and on the other hand, iPhone 12, unlike its predecessors, didn't go for warm color temperature. Rather, it reproduced photos with a bit cool temperature and kept everything very close to reality. Oh yes, sky color rendition is not correct on iPhone 12 either. I have mentioned earlier, after this new update, iPhone 12 camera performance actually is not like before. In my experience, there is a huge improvement in computational photography and it is more consistent than before. I also must mention about a few other differences, like white balance, saturation and skin tone in different lighting conditions jumps back and forth. However, details and textures continued to be better on iPhone 12 and Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus continued to increase highlights and ambience. Both of these two smartphones depends on the main sensor for portrait photos. This is a bit frustrating for Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus cause this smartphone comes with a proper telephoto lens and a 13 megapixel sensor for optical zoom. Anyway, when I compare portrait photos, I care about bokeh effect, edge detection, amount of textures processed in the subject and the separation line. I always mention in all of my camera comparison videos, and yes, once again, a lot depends on personal preferences. And this will be a preference thing for sure. It depends on what you prefer. Like Samara, the model in these pictures, feels she looks better in the images grabbed by Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus. And it's truly difficult to disagree with that choice. But if you want to get something close to reality, then you have to choose the portrait shots of iPhone 12. After checking a lot of portrait photos taken by these two smartphones, it is clear that there is a difference in exposure and shadow details. Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus slightly saturates the color and I am not surprised to see high ambience and vibrance. At a glance, it may seem like Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus white balance is a bit warm, but actually iPhone 12 also reproduced photos with similar warm color temperature. Due to lower midtones and highlights, it's less visible. As usual, I must mention color rendition on Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus is a bit far from reality, cause it rendered colors with different tonal contrast and color curve, which indeed made skin tone and the background look better than iPhone 12. But the color of that beautiful dress of Samara is correct on iPhone 12. Edge detection, edge cutouts and separation line blend performance randomly jumps back and forth, but Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus is a bit ahead. In terms of dynamic range, once again, it is a bit better on Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus, and iPhone 12 is ahead with more details and textures. Very difficult to judge cause performance is not that consistent. I would like to know which one do you prefer. Please make a comment and share your thoughts. Despite of having a bigger selfie sensor, Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus selfie and selfie portraits are truly inferior to iPhone 12. At a glance, field of view is a bit wider on Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus. And yes, for sure it makes the whole image lucrative and you'd find yourself way more handsome or beautiful. Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus kept all the trends of its rear camera setup, slightly overexposed, increased highlights and midtones are now combined with unusually heavy beautification and skin smoothing effect. Colors are not only saturated but also rendered with heavy artificial effect. On the other hand, other than edge detection and separation line blend, everything is better on iPhone 12. You will find more details with true to life skin tone and color rendition is way better than Reno 5 Pro Plus. Once again, it depends on what you prefer. Samara preferred Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus selfie and I would go for iPhone 12 selfie. These videos are recorded at 1080p 30 frames per second. iPhone 12 supports HDR video and yes, HDR was enabled on iPhone 12. I was intentionally checking the smartphones to check stability. And despite having OIS on both of the smartphones, iPhone 12 video has more jelly effect than Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus. Color rendition, details, textures and exposure is way better on iPhone 12. But once again, Reno 5 Pro Plus with added highlights, vibrance and shadow details looks better and attractive. White balance is unusually cool on iPhone 12 And yes, it is warm on Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus. These videos are recorded at 4K 30 frames per second, and iPhone 12 started to perform like an iPhone. Sudden bump in color temperature and saturation, heavily increased highlights and midtones along with more details. Truly, I was confused and checked twice, cause there is a huge difference in performance between 1080p and 4K. Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus suddenly took the role of iPhone 12 and went a bit dim. Decreased highlights and shadows, but it kept its awful color rendition. Also, stabilization is not as good as iPhone 12 on 4K. Okay, what do you think? Considering the price, would you go for Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus? Remember, there is a huge issue of awful color rendition on Oppo Reno 5 Pro Plus, and details are pretty low. Okay, if you have liked this video, then please click on the like button and share this video on your Facebook and Twitter. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel.